We want to thank God today for this man whose ministry has lasted more than 50 years, going on 60 years. In and out of season, whether he's been struggling with his health or not, he is on a mission from God. And we thank God for this man today. Have to be a little biased, he's my dad, but you know what? He belongs to everybody. Everybody put your hands together for our founder and our president, the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson Sr.
I am somebody, baby down but not destroyed. Come on, empty but not void, 'cause I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody.
I'm all right.
At the end of this day, they can turn the work away, but I am somebody. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God made me, so I am somebody. At the end of this day, they can turn the work away, but I am somebody. Oh, I am somebody.
I am somebody. I am somebody. I am somebody. Respect me. Protect me. Never neglect me. I am somebody. If my mind can conceive it, if my heart can believe it, I know I can achieve it. I am somebody. Stop the violence. Save the children. Stop the violence. Save the children. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Here today, the week of such exciting work right through the Christmas holidays. Yesterday we were in New York with Reverend Al Sharp, the National Action Network. They bought 500 books. I think we signed all of them. People lined up down the street in New York yesterday getting the book, Keep Hope Alive. We're going to do a similar thing, Bobby Steele, here in Chicago. We do a signing as we try to concretize our struggle across the years. I want to give a big hand to Reverend Sharpton and National Action. Put your hands together. Christmas Day has been overtaken by Santa's Day. It's really Jesus' holy day. It's not Santa's holiday. It's a day of emancipation. Isaiah promised, until the son is born, child's given. His name should be called Wonderful God, Prince of Peace. But who shows the rest of the new government? Jesus lived in a government where he was under occupation, born on a death warrant, killed all the firstborn babies, arbitrary justice. So in many ways, December 25th is Happy Emancipation Day. Not just Merry Christmas for Santa Claus. It's a Happy Emancipation Day. The Savior came, the Liberator came, the Redeemer came. He died that we might live. Santa Claus is a joke. Jesus is real. Put your hands together. He's real. So along with Reverend Grant and Attorney Wilson and the staff, we decided that we've been for 40 years going to Cook County Jail on Christmas Day. We found 5 layers of people there, Sister Bobby. One, there's a significant number of people in jail, been there 5 to 7 years on pretrial detention. Many of them don't want to get out. They have no place to go. They're homeless. For them, the jail is a homeless shelter. They get out, they have no place. It's warm in the winter time, so they have no place to go. Others are in jail on trumped-up charges. In jail because driving under influence. They should be home on the monitor, working to sustain their family. Others in jail on the issue of child support. If they're working, they can support their children, and the money should go to the children while they're working. Locking them in jail is not a good thing. The third thing is that there are those who are in jail on $25 bond. They can't pay $250, Perry. They're on $5,000, but they can't pay $500. They simply are in jail because they're too poor to get out. And so we have been going to the judges, asking them to hurry up the process of taking people out of jail who should not be there. Bishop Grant has been taking the lead in bringing out these young men. Bishop, introduce them and give these young Bishop Grant a big hand, shall we?
Good morning, Rainbow Push. Let's give God praise for Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Come on, put your hands together. For over 40 years, Reverend Jackson has been fighting to set the captives free, going to Cook County Jail every Christmas morning. And we want to thank Willie Wilson for putting up $10,000 to set the captives free. Many of you know, you may not know, nearly 3 million people are incarcerated who are African Americans, make up 34% of the entire population of those who are incarcerated. Here's an interesting fact. If African Americans and Hispanics were arrested at the same rate of whites, incarceration rates would drop by 40%. That means that prisons would have to be closed systematically across this country. The work of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson makes a big difference in America. Give God praise for him. On Christmas morning, we were able to free Brian Cerratos and Chris Marino, two of them, but we have the two of the four with us today. Dante Johnson is on his way to Malcolm X College because he's free today. And Aaron Kisner starts a new job Monday, working full time because he's free. Oh, y'all got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. Come on, give these young brothers a round of applause. We are going to make sure through the work of Dorothy Brown that their record gets expunged. They get a fresh start. Dante wants to go into the medical field, and Aaron wants to start a new family and go on to school and put this all behind him. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Let's give God praise for setting the captives free. Somebody say, set the captives free. Say, set the captives free. Say, set the captives free. Give it up for Reverend Jackson. Thank you, Reverend Jackson.
You know, almost 9,000 inmates in Cook County Jail for pre-trial detention. They're waiting for, they've not been jailed 7 years waiting for trial. That's because a group of journalists, judges came over from Britain a few years ago, Bobby Steele, and they visited the traffic court. Cook County. They said, where's the jail for the whites? There are almost no whites in jail. This is a way of sustaining the economy. I also want to say that next Wednesday is New Year's Day. For us, that's not just ham, hock, and greens and ball game day. We were in slavery for 244 years. Slavery, 244. And Lincoln said in the fall of 1862, unless the South comes back to the Union, he'll free us and save the Union. Say January 1st is Emancipation Day. For the first time, we were able to bear arms to shoot our slave masters to try to keep us on the plantation. So January the 1st, Emancipation Day. We're having a service at Rainbow Push at Wednesday, 50th and Drexel, as we celebrate Emancipation Day. We have an obligation to do so. I want to say to the Mayor of Hobson Park, please stand, Mr. Mayor. We're going to worship tomorrow at Hopkins Park. We're in Kankakee at Morning Star Church. After which we will have a press conference. We're demanding that in the Hopkins Park, Pembroke area, that they have gas lines and Wi-Fi, and that they have investment, they have internet. A group of black farmers left the South and turned the century to come to Chicago to avoid the lynchings of the South. They settled in that area. Every township in Kankakee County has Wi-Fi, internet, and gas, except Pembroke. So we will stand together. We'll get gas lines, investment, development, raise the value of our property. We will fight together. Put your hands together. Santita, I want you to introduce our panel today. We were talking about these. We need volunteers. It's not enough to watch us work. We need volunteers to help us work. Together, say together, we have the power to change the nation. Rosa Parks was a volunteer. Dr. King was a volunteer. The citizens in Greensboro were volunteering. Jesus was a volunteer. You can't just wait to get paid. Some things are worth volunteering for. We need you. Well, listen to us. Meet us at Push Tuesday night at 6 o'clock with Sister Michelle. I'll be with you on Tuesday night as we work out a plan to get more young people out of jail and keep them in school. We also want them to have, Bob, we want to get them computers. While they're in jail, they can learn to compute. They can learn how to do apps and codes and programming. Sit around jail all day long with nothing to do. Many of them, they are mentally challenged. They take medicine all day and sleep. They should be home in a mental institution. They're using jail. Jail is used as a mental institution and as a homeless shelter. We intend to turn Cook County Jail into a museum. Put your hands together.